Slide 8, Principle 6, Q.6, GHG emissions, Scope 1 and 2, greenhouse gas, GHG. Emissions reporting is a fundamental component of environmental disclosure under Principle 6 of the Business Responsibility and Sustainability Reporting (BRSR) framework. These disclosures enable stakeholders to evaluate an organization's contribution to climate change and assess its efforts toward carbon management and environmental sustainability. The framework requires organizations to report emissions from key greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide, methane, carbon tetrahydride, nitrous oxide, N2O, hydrofluorocarbons, HFCs, perfluorocarbons, PFCs, sulfur hexafluoride, and nitrogen trifluoride. These gases vary in their global warming potential but collectively contribute to climate change and environmental degradation. Scope 1 emissions refer to direct greenhouse gas emissions arising from sources that are owned or controlled by the organization. These may include emissions from manufacturing processes, fuel combustion in boilers and generators, company-owned vehicles, industrial equipment, refrigerant leakages, and methane emissions from mining or waste treatment activities. Scope 1 emissions provide a direct measure of the organization's operational carbon footprint. Scope 2 emissions represent indirect emissions resulting from the generation of purchased electricity, steam, heating, or cooling consumed by the organization. Although these emissions occur at the energy generation source, they are attributed to the organization because the energy is purchased and utilized in its operations. The BRSR framework requires organizations to report emissions in metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, TCO2e. Companies should disclose the standards, methodologies, assumptions, emission factors, and calculation tools used in preparing emission inventories. Transparency regarding data sources and reporting boundaries enhances the credibility and comparability of disclosures. A key performance metric is GHG intensity, calculated as total Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions divided by total turnover. Organizations may also voluntarily report emission intensity based on production volume, units manufactured, floor space, or workforce size. Overall, these disclosures help stakeholders evaluate climate-related risks, carbon management performance, regulatory preparedness, and an organization's commitment to achieving long-term sustainability and net zero objectives.